At the White House tonight, President Donald Trump signed two executive orders. The first establishes what's called the Trump Gold Card as a path for U.S. citizenship for the price of $1 million. The second adds a $100,000 fee to skilled worker visas called H-1B worker visas.
Imagine being one of the world's top engineers, developers, or scientists. Skilled, experienced, and ready to contribute to the global tech hub of the United States. You've spent years preparing, applying, and waiting for that chance, only to find that the entry ticket is no longer just your talent or expertise. It's now a $100,000 fee. That's the new reality after President Donald Trump signed an executive order placing a steep price tag on the H-1B skilled worker visa program. Today, we'll dive deep into what this means, the background of the order, the reactions from industries and governments, the ripple effects on workers worldwide, and the bigger debate it sparks about America's future in innovation and immigration. Stay with me, because this story is not just about visas, it's about who gets to shape the global workforce of tomorrow. The executive order. What just happened? On September 21st, 2025, President Donald Trump's latest executive order came into effect, shaking the foundation of the H-1B visa program. For decades, this visa has allowed highly skilled foreign workers to take up positions in American companies, especially in tech, healthcare, and engineering. The new rule imposes a $100,000 annual fee per applicant, a dramatic leap from the existing administrative costs, which average around $1,500. To put it simply, if a company wants to hire a foreign worker under the H-1B system, they must now pay six figures every year for as long as that worker remains in the United States. According to Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick-Squire, the idea is straightforward. Companies must decide whether a candidate's skills are worth the cost or else prioritize hiring American workers instead. Lutnick emphasized, the company needs to decide, is the person valuable enough to have a $100,000 a year payment to the government, or they should head home, and they should go hire an American. This order, however, applies only to new applicants, entering the lottery system starting in February 2026. Current visa holders, or those who were part of the 2025 lottery, are not affected. What makes this significant is the scope. Tens of thousands of workers every year come through this channel, and the new cost could mean companies entirely rethink how they approach workforce planning. While some firms may view this as an acceptable investment in crucial talent, others may scale back international hiring altogether. Why target the H-1B visa? The H-1B program has long been celebrated and criticized. Created to attract specialized talent from abroad, it became central to Silicon Valley's rise and U.S. dominance in global tech. Critics argue it's misused, claiming companies rely too heavily on cheaper foreign labor instead of training locals. Trump pointed to what he called abuse. Supporters counter that visas fill gaps in industries lacking American workers. Billionaire Elon Musk defended the program, saying it helps bring in the best talent in the world and fuel innovation. That contrast, critics fearing lost jobs versus business leaders valuing global skill, drives today's debate. Controversy also comes from scale. With only 85,000 slots annually, demand far outstrips supply, with hundreds of thousands applying. To some, this shows foreign talent's importance. To others, dependence. By targeting H-1B, the Trump administration taps arguments about fairness, opportunity, and whether America should prioritize domestic workers or global competitiveness. The new Gold Card visa pathway. Alongside the H-1B fee order, Trump introduced the CHAS Gold Card visa program, designed for high net worth immigrants investing heavily in the U.S. economy. Under the scheme, individuals can fast-track visa applications by paying fees starting at £1 million. While details are unfolding, the move reflects a dual strategy, making it harder for skilled workers on H-1Bs while opening doors for wealthy investors. This rollout sparked immediate comparisons. A talented engineer from India or China might face barriers, while a billionaire entrepreneur can bypass the process with capital. Critics question if this reshapes immigration into a system favoring wealth over skill. Supporters argue investment-based immigration injects funds, creates jobs, and fosters international partnerships. Skeptics worry it sends a mixed message. America closing doors to talent but keeping them open for wealth. The juxtaposition of these programs, costly H-1B versus premium investor visa, shows how immigration policy appeals to nationalism while courting global capital. Business world reactions, from Amazon to startups. The corporate world has reacted with urgency. Amazon, the largest single beneficiary of H-1Bs last year, issued an internal advisory warning employees to stay inside the U.S. if they already held valid visas. The advisory even urged those abroad to return before the deadline to avoid complications. Startups and smaller businesses are even more alarmed. Immigration attorney Tamina Watson described the new fee as a nail in the coffin for many of her clients. She explained that most small companies can't afford such a high price tag, even though they often rely on foreign talent because they cannot find qualified workers locally. Meanwhile, Jorge Lopez, chair of the Immigration and Global Mobility Practice at Littler Mendelson PC, warned that the fee could put the brakes on American competitiveness in industries from tech to biotech. He raised the possibility that companies might relocate operations abroad to access talent pools without the additional cost. The divide is clear. While major corporations may have the financial muscle to absorb the fee, smaller firms face a harsher reality. For them, international hiring may no longer be viable, and that could limit their ability to scale. Innovation ecosystems often depend on startups pushing the boundaries, and without access to global talent, their pace could slow dramatically. Business associations and trade groups are already discussing lobbying efforts, signaling that pushback against the order will intensify. The Indian and Chinese stakeholders. When discussing H-1Bs, India is always at the center of the conversation. Last year, Indian nationals made up 71% of approved applications, according to government data. China followed with nearly 12%. This means the $100,000 fee disproportionately affects Indian workers and Indian outsourcing firms, such as Tata Consultancy Services. India's top trade body, NASSCOM, voiced its concern, warning that the sudden change creates considerable uncertainty for businesses, professionals, and students across the world. For many Indian families, the H-1B has been more than just a visa. It represents the American dream. Skilled professionals from cities like Bangalore and Hyderabad see it as their pathway to global careers and opportunities. With this new financial hurdle, that dream could become out of reach for thousands. China, while not as dominant in numbers, also sees H-1Bs as crucial for tech professionals working with multinational companies. Restrictions and high fees may encourage talent to remain within Asia, fueling regional growth instead of American innovation. This policy shift could also affect U.S. diplomatic relations with both India and China, as skilled migration is increasingly intertwined with economic and cultural ties. When large groups of workers feel excluded, the perception of America as a land of opportunity begins to change. Political and legal dimensions. This isn't the first time Trump has taken aim at the H-1B program. Back in 2017, during his first term, he signed an executive order that increased scrutiny on visa applications. Rejection rates climbed to 24% in 2018. A sharp contrast from the 2 to 8% range under previous administrations. This time, though, the approach is financial rather than procedural. By imposing costs, the administration pushes companies to self-select their priorities, effectively reducing demand without expanding bureaucracy. But legal questions remain. Immigration lawyers note that such a drastic fee could face challenges in court, particularly if argued to be discriminatory or excessively burdensome. Whether lawsuits emerge remains to be seen, but the scale of the policy ensures it won't quietly fade from the headlines. Additionally, the executive order raises broader constitutional and policy questions. How far can executive authority extend in reshaping immigration without congressional approval? Previous legal battles over immigration policy have often hinged on executive overreach. If challenged, this fee structure could become a major case, with the potential to set precedent for how immigration law is crafted in the future. Beyond the courtroom, it could also shape the immigration debate in the next election cycle. The future of U.S. competitiveness. The U.S. has long marketed itself as the land of opportunity, where innovation thrives and the brightest minds contribute. Programs like H-1B reinforce this image by bringing scientists, engineers, and thinkers from around the globe. With the new fee, critics warn of a chilling effect. Instead of flocking to Silicon Valley, skilled professionals may look to Canada, Europe, or fast-growing hubs in Asia. Jorge Lopez cautioned the move could slow America's tech dominance, saying, "This $100,000 fee will put the brakes on American competitiveness in the tech sector and all industries." Trump frames the policy differently. He argues it puts American workers first and forces companies to reconsider foreign versus domestic labor, aligning with his broader message of economic nationalism. The consequences may be long-lasting. If top-tier talent chooses friendlier immigration systems elsewhere, the U.S. could lose its position as the default destination for innovators. Over time, this may shift research hubs, investment flows, and startup cultures abroad. While the immediate impact is financial, the deeper question is about brand identity. Does America remain a magnet for global excellence, or become a closed market prioritizing domestic labor over collaboration? What lies ahead? Looking forward, the impact of this decision will unfold over years, not weeks. Some immediate effects, like companies warning employees not to leave the country, are already visible. But the bigger shifts in hiring strategies, business investment, and international mobility will take time. If the policy stands, smaller businesses may struggle the most, while larger corporations could adapt by paying the fee or finding alternatives. Countries like India will watch closely, as their workers and industries are disproportionately affected. And globally, the competition for talent will only intensify. Trump himself has acknowledged both sides of the debate. In past remarks, he recognized that America needs skilled immigrants, while also emphasizing his duty to protect U.S. jobs. His balancing act between those competing goals will likely continue to shape immigration policy in the years ahead. Ultimately, the outcome depends on how companies, courts, and workers respond. Will businesses simply accept the fee as the cost of securing critical skills? Will other nations seize the opportunity to attract the very talent that America prices out? Or will political compromise reshape the order into something less extreme? These unanswered questions keep this policy at the center of economic, legal, and social conversations moving forward. So here's the question. Is this $100,000 fee a bold step to protect American jobs, or a costly barrier that could weaken U.S. innovation globally? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your perspective in the comments. Will companies pay the price or seek talent elsewhere? If you found this breakdown insightful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss updates on stories shaping the global economy and workforce. Until next time, stay informed and stay curious.